Hey, what's up guys, DJ D-phlo here, and today we are going to be reviewing the XDJ-XZ multiplayer. Let's go. Before I go into the review, please remember to share, like, follow, subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a whole lot more content for you guys. Quick history on the XDJ-XZ. This multiplayer was introduced by Pioneer back in 2019, and just to give you a quick perspective on how good this multiplayer is that anything you could basically do on a Pioneer CDJ 2000 Nexus 2 or on a 900 Nexus, you could basically do on here as well. Just looking at the size also, it goes without saying that this is a very comfortable deck to actually play on. Looking at the jog wheel itself, the jog wheel is actually quite massive. It's, I would say, about the same size as a normal standard CDJ 800 or so. But yeah, the jog wheel is quite big. It's actually, I think it's actually the same size as the XDJ 1000s, as well as the CDJ 2000s. So it's actually quite massive as well. So let's do a quick 360 on the XDJ-XZ and see what it looks like everywhere else. I'm going to look at the inputs as well as come back to the front and see what's here in the front. Okay, this is quite a heavy deck. Very heavy. This is about 13 kilograms. Of course, obviously you can see all the features that this thing has. All right, from right to left, or yeah, from right to left. So on this end, this would actually be deck number 1. You just see it's upside down here. All right, the power is a 3-pin kettle power, and then it has there we go. Then it has a mic 1 and a mic 2, unlike the what's it called, XDJ-RR, which would only have 1 mic input, but this has those 2 mics. And also a fun thing for you to know is you don't have to have an XLR input. In the center here, you can actually insert a what's it called, a jack. So a lot of the speakers also do have the same input, so you can either put an XLR or a jack in the center. And then we come over here, we have an aux. We have a line in for channel 3 and a phone, and a line in for channel 4 and a phone. So you can connect extra decks to this. So if you have another 2 decks that you would like to join onto here to connect to channel 3 and 4, you can plug it onto here. Let's move on to the right. All right, so this is our audio section. This is our audio out. You have your unbalanced send. So this is your jacks. You can have your jacks out, and then you have your master 2, which is a RCA master left and right, and then you have a master 1, which is the main one, which is your XLR out as well. And then you have a booth as well. So there's a booth output here as well. Normally I'm used to the booth being like an RCA type of booth, not a jack, but yeah, things change. And then finally, all the way to the right hand side, we have our USB connections. So we have USB, you can say this is USB 3. So this you can use the controller as an MIDI if you want to use the controller to connect to a laptop. And then you have your link over here. So this is your link for all your channels. If you'd like to link, you can link from here. So this is channel 4 and channel 3 link, and then there's an extension. So brief overview of the fun side of the XDJ-XZ. Top left hand side, all the way at the top over here, this is your mic control. So you have your mic 1 and 2 controls over here. Interestingly enough, it has a feedback reducer as well. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you one time. Then we go on to the main side of this. So having a look at this, just sectioning it off, you have your deck 1 on your left hand side, and your deck 2 on your right hand side. You will be surprised that on the center here you have 4 what's it called, channels, but only 2 decks. I'll show you how that works. But you can still just use 2 channels if you want to use 2 channels, no problem. The mixer itself, it resembles a DJM mixer. If you've used the DJM mixer before, you can see a lot of this is actually very DJM, I would say DJM 900 Nexus mixer kind of, especially because of this little touchpad over here. But yeah, I'll get into that further. Left hand side, you have your jog 1 and jog 2. Interesting thing that this particular one has, and most of the professional high-end CDJs would have, the jog adjust. So the jog adjust, if you don't know what that is, if you put it on light, you can see here it has light, it is heavy. If you put it on light and you spin the jog, watch what happens. It continues to spin for some time. Now, if you don't like it being too soft, you can put it too heavy, and this is what happens. See that? Doesn't spin as quick as anymore, or you can just put it in the center and it'll be balanced in the center, just depending on how you like it. Then you have your beat sync on the beat sync, and then master sync here. Remember, you have to export your music from Rekordbox for you to use it. Some of these functions here, like your beat sync, it will not work if you did not analyze and export your music from Rekordbox. It also has 8 hot cue pads on each, so which is 16. Basically it when it comes to that side of town. Let's jump to the right hand side. On the right hand side over here, top here, you can see you have your master volumes, you have your booth volume, you have your EQs here that you would, if you'd like to control obviously the output of the music. And then you have 2 USBs like you would have on the XDJ-RR and XDJ-RX3. You also have the master record, so you can quick record if you want to record any mix while you're playing, but remember you have to put it into USB 2 if you'd like to use that function. Just going back to the mixer itself, the mixer is a 4-channel mixer like I said, and it resembles a lot, to me it looks a lot like the DJM 900 Nexus. So it has 6 color effects on the side, and it has 14 effects on the side, or beat effects on the side. Then it has a beat effect X-pad, which is actually, you can actually touch and move to exactly what you're looking for, besides actually jumping beats over here. So you can actually use this here. Then all the way up here in the center, we have a 7-inch color touch screen. So unlike the XDJ-RR, which is not touchscreen, this one is touchscreen, and I'll show you again also when I switch it on. Let's boot this guy up. Join me on part 2. Let's have a look at how it looks when it's booted up and show you all these other features that you can't really see right now.